This just in, people. Paddington 2 is the greatest film ever? Hey guys, welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about some news that came out. Apparently, according to Rotten Tomatoes, Paddington 2 is considered, to them, the greatest film of all time. It is the highest reviewed movie on the site Rotten Tomatoes, now beating out Citizen Kane. If you want to know the stats, Citizen Kane holds a 99% with 116 reviews, and Paddington 2 holds 100% with 245 reviews. And the audience score, Citizen Kane, is 90% with over 100,000 reviews, and Paddington 2 is 87% with a little over 5,000. So I would still say the wide consensus is that Citizen Kane is a better film, but according to the critics, Paddington 2 is the more acclaimed film. It's weird because Rotten Tomatoes is a very interesting site because there's other films with 100%, not just Paddington 2. I think the first Terminator has 100%, if I'm not mistaken. I think Aliens did at time, but I don't know if it still holds 100%. But Before Sunrise has 100%, and there's a lot of films that with 100% certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, but Paddington 2 has the most reviews, and it has the most 100%, so Paddington 2, greatest film of all time, and it's got a lot of people writing articles just saying, what? Huh? Paddington 2? That's the greatest film of all time? Is it better than Citizen Kane? Is Citizen Kane even considered the greatest film of all time? But again, we're going off Rotten Tomatoes standards here. Rotten Tomatoes is not a site I go off of, really. I check the site, but I don't agree with it always. Sometimes they make good choices, and I strongly agree with their choices. And sometimes I fucking don't. I really don't know what the hell they were thinking. It depends when it comes to Rotten Tomatoes and stuff. And now in the past couple of years, Rotten Tomatoes doesn't even judge a film off being good or not. Sometimes it goes off its political message, and if it checks off the things that the critics like nowadays, and it's all about favoritism and everything. So I can't trust Rotten Tomatoes. But Rotten Tomatoes used to be pretty legit, but not so much lately. But is Paddington 2 worth that 100%? And is it worth having better reviews than Citizen Kane? No. I'll just say right now, I love Paddington 2. I think it's a great film. I think I gave it a 9 point something, 9.5 out of 10. I still stand by it. It's a terrific, terrific film. I've watched it many, many, many times. I got the Blu-ray, and it is a great kids film. It is super, super funny. It's got a lot of heart, great message, great characters. I thought Paul King did a great job with that film. And I love the character of Paddington. He is a great character. And it's a British comedy. That's some of my favorite comedies, British comedies. I love the sarcasm and the dry wit of the British comedies. Some of my favorite comedies of all time are the Cornetto trilogy and Monty Python. So love British comedies. And so Paddington 2 is a great kids movie for me. The first two Paddingtons are just great kids films for me, because that's everything I like in comedy, and it's got great slapstick and just great moments. It's just so endearing as well. You also got Hugh Grant as a villain. That's always great. So it basically marks a lot of the checkpoints for me to liking the kids film. But it is no Citizen Kane. And I know Citizen Kane is considered a film a lot of people consider a little overrated. And they don't understand why it's the greatest film of all time, especially the younger generations. Because the younger generations now are watching Marvel films and John Wick action films, and Mad Max Fury Roads, and everything like that. A lot of blood and guts and stuff, or a lot of superhero stuff. And Citizen Kane is a very slow-paced, dramatic story about a man's life and how he started off in poverty and was accepted into a rich family, and he made something of himself. But it's also a tragic story about how he regrets leaving his poverty life for money and stuff, and then the money never brought him happiness, and he wishes that he can maybe go back and relive his life and everything. There's a lot of stuff to Citizen Kane, and the character of Kane played beautifully by Orson Welles, and there's a lot of great iconic things in Citizen Kane. A lot of the shots were so unique and original in Citizen Kane. The writing was so unusual too, the directional style, and even how it's edited and how it's even kind of narrated in the beginning. It's very different, the film, and a lot of filmmakers wanted to be like Citizen Kane. Edward D. Wood Jr., one of the worst filmmakers ever, inspired to be just like Orson Welles because of what Citizen Kane did. They even made a movie last year called Mank about the making of Citizen Kane. So it is a very iconic film, and there is a reason why it's considered one of the greatest films of all time. It did things that no films ever did in the 1940s, and it's still to this day a talked about film, and it's a film that's studied in film classes. The way it's shot and the way it's written, the way how these characters are portrayed by these great actors, and just the choices these characters make, just the lighting, just the black and white cinematography, like everything about Citizen Kane can be studied frame by frame, dialogue by dialogue. You can dissect the brilliantness of Citizen Kane. And a lot of people might watch it and think, that's just a boring film. Paddington 2 is a great comedy about a talking bear trying to, get a picture book for his mother and stuff for her birthday, and he goes to prison and he befriends all the prison inmates and stuff. You got like a crazy Hugh Grant who thinks all the characters he played when he was an actor are real people. Like, it's such a weird and bizarre movie, but it's always going at a pace. That's the difference between Paddington 2 and Citizen Kane. Paddington 2 is always going with jokes and jokes and jokes, and the story just keeps moving. It's got an energy to it. Citizen Kane is a very slow and droggy film. Plus, it's a black and white movie. Some people just don't like black and white movies, but it's a very sluggish film, and a lot of people don't like that. And that's why some people, especially a younger generation now, would understand why Paddington 2 is a better film than Citizen Kane, and why it's one of the greatest kids' films of all time, and one of the best films ever. To me, personally, I don't think either one of them are the best film of all time. Blade Runner is my favorite film, but I think Casablanca is the greatest film ever made, for me, personally. Blade Runner is my personal favorite. I like it more than Casablanca, but Casablanca, to me, is a perfect film, and even Raging Bull and Unforgiven are perfect films to me. I think these are some of the greatest films ever made. But, yeah, just comparing these two films, I still think Citizen Kane is a superior film. And I understand why someone would call Citizen Kane the greatest film, more than Paddington 2. If someone said Paddington 2 is one of the greatest kids' films, or the greatest kids' film, I can understand that argument. But calling Paddington 2 the greatest film of all time is a little bit of a stretch. I'm kind of with people when they go, what? Rotten Tomatoes is a very odd thing, though, a very odd site. They give some very wonky reviews to some movies. Like, I don't know how many times I've seen positive reviews for shit movies and negative reviews for great movies, but that's Rotten Tomatoes for you. But I don't agree with them giving Paddington 2 the edge over Citizen Kane. But that doesn't matter, because I want to know what you guys think. What are your guys' opinions? Do you think Citizen Kane is still the greatest film of all time, or do you think Paddington is a better film? Give me those opinions. Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and join the dark side.